Hey, so we're gonna be doing GitHub, and GitHub has we're gonna go through every single process. So first is we're gonna create a file on GitHub, right? Then we're gonna create a branch to the, well, let's say project, okay? Not file, project, okay? Create a project on GitHub. Branch from the project, right? We're gonna create two branches. Two branches, right? So we branch. We're then going to work on the projects, so make changes. Then we're going to, next stage is going to be commit changes locally, right? So this is a step you have to do in GitHub, right? Once you commit it locally, you can then push to the branch on GitHub. All right, so once you finished your edits, whatever, blah, 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 you want to push that content into the branch. Then we're gonna create what's called a pull request. Create a pull request, right? So pull request is when you are asking for your branch to be merged with master file. So this is the final step, right? So you finished your edits, you want to submit it to the website, so they publish it live. This is the step. And then finally, you either delete your branch because you finished working on it, you don't need to do that anymore, or update your branch so it is in sync with master. I probably need to draw it a little bit before you're gonna start. Before we started, right? Because look, we have master here. Right, we have master. And then we have branches that are gonna be versions of master. Right? So they're gonna be like whatever, call them developer 1. And then we're gonna have developer 2. So remember, this is gonna be like, we're gonna do, let's do hello world in here, and we're gonna do, then we're gonna create a new one which is gonna be under hello world, and we're gonna call it hello from dev 1. Alright, and here is going to be hello from dev 2. And our final project should look something like this. So once all the changes are done, there should be hello world, hello from dev 1, and hello from dev 2. Right? That's going to be our endpoint. So we're going to go from master to all this mumbo jumbo. All right, so let us, what are we going to do first? Yeah, we need to upload a file. The first thing is probably to create hello world. Right, so let's just create hello world, just a basic file. I'll teach you how to do the kind of how to push, create React app or whatever, something more complex than this into the GitHub, but I'll do it in the part 2 video. This is just, I want you to understand the basics of how GitHub works. Oh yeah, you need to install GitHub Desktop. So just go and install GitHub Desktop. GitHub Desktop, there you go. Go and install it. Now this thing works with Bitbucket and GitLab as well. So this is a good thing to have, right? Now I'm going to teach you how to use it with the GitLab later, but right now just fundamentals. Okay. All right, so let's create HTML. How do I even rename this thing? 1 second. So we call this project 1 HTML, like this. Yes. Now let's edit it. Honestly, we probably don't even need to do anything here. Anything fancy, right? Just hello world. Like this. Honestly, I'll do the HTML template for you. So it's kind of like an actual file. Which one? Hello world. Which one? Now, naturally, you probably... I'll simulate what you're doing, because I know you're probably going to complain about project 1. Okay, so that's going to be our properties. I know it's a little bit slow because there are so many things you have to learn about this. We're waiting for go live to load, so I can show you that it's working. You know? Okay, so we have our hello world, right? So this can be anything, like this can be an app, blah blah blah, whatever, makes no difference, right? So now, how do we get this into the GitHub? Now, I'm not gonna do it through CLI. CLI is command line interface, because this will confuse absolute shit out of you, and I don't want that to happen. If you know how to do that, that's great. So we're gonna do it manually, right? So we're gonna go to GitHub. So I'm already logged in, right? So we're gonna go to your repositories, and we're gonna call this whatever we call this, project 1. Okay. Make it public. Yes. Create repository. Now you can follow these steps, honestly, just to put it into. But you can also do this, honestly, just like this. Because normally you have your build, and you can just push your build, just click drag it, and done, and that's it. Alright, so now we have our HTML in here, you see? So now it's live on GitHub, and we have hello world in here. Okay, so that's our project, that's our file. Okay, so so let me just go to our steps. So we've done this now. Alright. Whoops. Okay, we've done this. So now let's just create 2 branches. So you click in here, you see where it says main. And you can type dev1 create branch. I promise you from here it's gonna be absolutely piece easy. Now create another branch. So you see, now you have main, which is your master branch. That's the one that's going to be controlling your website. So this is your kind of like, you can see you can even protect it to make sure that nobody messes with it. But that's going to be your source of truth. So that's going to be your dev 1. That's going to be your dev 2. Okay, so now we've done this. Okay, so now we need to kind of, there is a step missing. It's called check out a branch, maybe. Right, so this is super easy. Like now we want to, so let's say we got our manager comes up to us and says, hey, I want you to work on dev1 branch, and the requirement is to create hello from dev1 anywhere in the HTML. So you click on here, open with GitHub Desktop. Now this is going to launch this thing here. Now it's going to ask you to clone it somewhere. So normally I do dev1 to indicate what branch am I working on. But you'll see something cool. You'll be able to swap between branches, like in here. Not that you probably need to do it, but now you can manually create a folder or whatever. 1 second. Why it didn't add project? You didn't add this one. Let's delete this one. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Let's just delete all of this mumbo jumbo. Close all of this. Okay, so let's go one more time. Open with GitHub, right? Clone again, right? Okay, so now everything is perfect. We can now we should be able to see. Yeah, so there it is. So it cloned and it put it into repository. All right. So now you need to understand two things. There are two terms in GitHub. Well, not on GitHub, in Git. One is called remote, and second one is called local. When we're talking about remote, we're talking about here. Anything that is in GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket is called remote. All right. Anything that is on your local machine is called local. All right. So just remember that. We're gonna come to that afterwards, right? So now this repository is local. Okay. Now in here, this connects to remote. So this is your local. This is your remote. Now we are sitting in branch main. So we want to swap to branch on remote dev1. Okay? So you see we have access to every single branch. But our manager told us to work on branch dev1, make changes. Okay? So now how do we make changes to this file? It's very easy. You click on open Visual Studio Code. Okay? So now this will go into your local repository and open up this file. Or whatever is in it. You see, we have your cloned repository in here. So naturally we go to our, what did our manager say? He said, we want you to add, let's do h2, hello from dev2. Okay, so now we're going to have change detection happening in two places. You can see your changes in here. So every single file you ever change is going to be in here. Now this will help you because I know in here there's only one file, but if you have, normally when you work in a company, you're going to have like 2,000 files, right? So you need to know which ones were changed. Otherwise you're going to be pushing all of your files, and that's very bad. But you don't have to worry about that, in fact, at all. Because you go, so once you're done your changes, right? Once you're done your changes, you go here, and it has automatic change detection. So you see, it tells you what files have been changed. You can look at history, blah, 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 right? So next thing we need to do is we need to commit to local, right? It's just a step. It doesn't really do anything. It's just a step in Git process, okay? I kind of still confused. Like it's just you have to commit to local. All right. You make the changes and you want the changes to be solid, right? So now you want to commit. It's called commit to local, right? So we type anything we want in here. Dev1 says hello, and here you can type a description. Blah, okay, blah blah from dev1. And then we do commit to dev1. All right. So now we made local commitment. Now we can push to origin. Now, origin means where did you clone this directory from? So we cloned it from our GitHub, right? So that's going to be our origin. So we're going to be pushing it into this branch in here. Right, so now we are updating this file with the new file. And that's very simple, we just click in here. Okay. So now this file has been updated. Right, so now if you're gonna look, it should be updated. You see dev1 says hello, we'll look at the file, and there is the change. So this process is called push to origin, right? So remember, you have to commit locally, and only then you can push to the branch. I think this step is just a security because, you know, you make changes, you don't want to commit them yet. Otherwise, it's going to constant. I think this step is just to avoid wastage, because if you technically link your local repository with your local with your remote is your GitHub, right? It's going to be so much wastage because every time you press a button, you're technically uploading files in here, and if you start doing stuff like, you know, npm installing stuff, yeah, I can see the value in commit locally. You only commit what you want to send to, okay. Right, so now we push to the branch. The final step is to create pull request. Pull request is when you want to merge files with the master. And it's very easy, you just create pull request. And you just do it. That's it, it's that easy. So it's going to validate, run some tests. And then your manager, normally there's going to be like an approval process in here. I'll show you an approval process at the end of this. Actually, I'm going to show it to you next, honestly. You'll see it. So you see, your manager is going to look at the approval. He's going to see what changed. There possibly could be a QA team who's going to do it. You can see changes in here that were made. Right, and then you just merge. Okay. So now that you have merged, you will see that the master has this change in it now. Does that make sense? Okay. So here is now going to be the one. There's okay. So now we've done this part, right? So now we either delete the branch or update with the master, right? So it's already kind of in sync with the master because there is only 2 people team. But if you have 5 people, right, your branch is gonna be behind master. Your like what's gonna be in your branch is not gonna be in sync with the master because there are a bazillion people adding stuff to it, and it's not gonna work. Right? So let me give you an example. Right? So let's say we have 2 developers now, right? We have 2 developers, so let's create. Let's change this line here. All right, so now we are still developer 1. Right, we're still developer 1. Let me think. How do I? Actually, no. What I'm gonna do is I am going to work as developer 2 now. So now I'm developer 2, and I need to write hello from dev 2 or dev 1 or whatever. Oh shit! I should have wrote dev 1 in here. My bad. We'll say something like hello from the other side, okay? So it's the same process, right? It's the same process. We go we probably have to close. I'm just thinking what's the best way to do it. So now we're developer 2. We could have done it in here, but I just want to go through the process again. Okay, so now it opened. Naturally, we want to be developer 2, so we swap to developer 2. Okay. No, I'm actually going to do it differently. My apologies. I'm going to delete the branch, because as a developer 2, I'm not aware of developer 1 work at all. So I'm a completely different guy. Alright, so I'm a completely different guy. My manager calls me and he says, hey Dev, I want you to work on developer 2 branch and write something in the project. Okay, so we go through the process again. Right. And we go into remove. Okay, let's try it one more time. Because you see, like, there is a bit of a thing where if you have one project on your local machine, you can automatically have access to all branches. So you see, like, if you clone directory one time from GitHub, you have access to all branches. But because we're trying to act like an independent developer, that's why project 1, dev 2. So now we're cloning project 1 as a developer 2. So now you'll see we have a new folder on our desktop, which is called project 1 developer 2. So again, we go through the same process of open it in Visual Studio Code. Oh, whoopsie. You need to make sure you're in the right branch. So we need to be in dev 2, you see. The current branch dev 2 is already published to GitHub. Create a pull request. Oh, so it's not published. Did we publish as a dev 2? Oh shit, we could have done that. Anyway, doesn't matter. So now we're developer 2. We want to make change in here. Yeah, okay, good. So now we want to add something like, I don't know, h3. Yeah, we need to wait until my Visual Studio Code starts, right? So h3, so hello from the other side. Or yeah, let's just do it this way. Doesn't matter. Okay, so saves automatically. So now we have our changes, we can see them. We want to commit. Remember, there are stages, right? So let me just... We're basically repeating this process, to be honest with you. There's only going to be one slight difference. So we branched, we worked on our project. We need to commit locally now, right? So how do we do that? We need to commit to dev2 branch. Like this. Make sure you're working the correct branch. Okay, so we've done our commitment. Push to the branch. So now we're going to be pushing to the branch dev2. Okay. So now let's just double check that it pushed. We are in dev2. Okay. So let's just have a look at branch. Yes, you see hello from the other side. Okay, so now we need to create a pull request. Which is just click here. Okay, so now there's going to be conflict. So this is what probably your manager is going to do. So your manager is going to see, okay, so there is a pull request. Pull request is when you want to merge it with the master. And so they're going to click on resolve conflicts. And that's what you're going to see. On line 16, there are two lines, right? So one of them is hello from dev2. And the new one is hello from the other side. So to resolve that, you see, so this is main, used to be, and this is the new one. All right, so you resolve it like this, and then you delete this mumbo jumbo, mark as resolved, and then you commit your merge. It's going to validate. And then your manager is going to merge the pull request. Now, if we go into the project, you will see that now we have all three in here. So do you remember we had a drawing where's the drawing? Yeah. So now we have. Okay, so there's one more step left, which is, okay, so there's two ways to handle it. You can either delete your branch, so every time you want to work on a project, you have to just create a new branch, or you can merge it with the master, right? Because remember, if we look at the branches, so dev1 is going to have hello from dev1. Dev2 is going to have, oh, he already merged it. Oh. Yeah, so he already merged with the master, right? So he has already. Normally there will be only this line here, so he's behind from the. Like when I say behind, that means the master has now updates that your branch does not have. Does that make sense? So this one is up to date, and this one is behind. Why? Because it doesn't have hello from the other side in it. Okay? So how do we make this branch? You can either delete it, like I said before, or you can just go here. You see, we need dev1, I think, right? Dev1, right? You go to branch, update from master. So it's going to update. I think they should have updated already. Let me see. Now this is kind of, I'm still experimenting with this, because I myself is not like a Git PhD, you know. I'm kind of learning this stuff. So let's see. Okay, so we clicked on update from main. Is already up to date with main. Okay. Yeah, but which one is it? Well, let's see. Let's see. Yeah, it's still behind. Okay, so we need to do something in here. Because normally there is like a button called fetch, and then, okay, let's see. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Is it updated now? No. I wonder why is it not updated. Mains is up to date with, okay. Yeah, so you see it's detecting that there is a line missing in here. We should not be manually copy and pasting, so we need to figure out how to. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so now we're merging dev 1 with master. That's what we did in here. Yeah, so basically when you click this button, a branch update from main, it will ask you to create a commit. You go through the commit, you create a pull request, and now you're not merging branch with the master. You are merging master with the branch, so you're kind of reversing the process a little bit. Just follow the steps honestly in here, and then that's it. You should be fine. I think this should be updated now, right? So let's see, we are in dev 1. Yeah, okay, so now we merged. Yeah, so basically if you want to merge your branch with the master, you just go here, update from main, and then you just go through the process, and that's it. I think that's about it. So let's go through developer 3, for example. Honestly, I think that kind of sums it up, honestly. So now let's say we want to work on this one. We just go here. So we're in dev 2 right now, right? Yeah, I think that kind of sums it up, honestly. Basically, like, bottom line, install Git Desktop and just click the buttons as they appear and understand the workflow of the GitHub, which is this here. So we're gonna have a project on whatever on our GitHub, right? The way we create branches is we just literally just type in here, create branch. Once the branch is created, work on the branch. So the way to work on a branch is we basically, I think we just do this. Code, open with whatever this thing. Now it's already open for us, right? So we make sure you're in the correct branch. So let's say we're developer 1, open Visual Studio Code, type your mumbo jumbo. Honestly, I'm favoring just deleting the branch. Because look, you see the problem? This file is not updated. You see the problem? Oh, okay. So you can just click on pull request. It's automatic. All right. So now our updates are done. Okay. So now we can type something like, I don't know, a paragraph. How's it going? Okay, so all changes are now detected. We go back. We want to push this into developer 1 branch. We make our commit, type blah blah blah. So this is commit. So remember, you have to commit first, and then you can push. So now we committed. Now we're pushing into our dev1, which has going. So now if we go to our dev1, it should have has going in it, right? There's has going. Then we create a pull request. So pull request is again, you want to merge it with the master or whatever. And then that's it. So our master should have how's it going in it now, right? Yes, how's it going? Okay, so now we have a problem that developer 2 is now behind and they do not have how's it going. So to fix that, we go to developer 2. Right, we want to update from main. It's going to go through this process again. So we are now asking the main to merge with, you see it as a try switching the base. We click for this. Type stuff. So now we're merging master with dev2. So now if we go into dev1, it should have how's it going. Dev2 also how's it going. And main is also how's it going, right? So now now remember remote, we're referring to remote is the GitHub. So now all of your remote repositories, branches, are all in sync with the main. You only have one last problem, which is on your local machine, your developer 1, or is it developer 2, will be not in sync. Which one did we work with? Developer 2. Okay, so developer 1 is not in sync with developer 2. So the way to do that is you switch the branch, right? It's going to give you a pop-up. Should be in here, right? Because right now we're sitting in developer 2, I think, right? We probably need to close this. Go to developer 1 and open in Visual Studio Code. You see, the problem is I'm the same person working on dev 1 and dev 2, and that's the problem. Oh yeah, you see, so now it's in sync. Okay, so that's okay. Normally there will be like a pop-up in here saying that, hey, you are one branch behind. Do you want to update? You click yes, and then it will update, and then that's about it. All right, so that's it. That's how you do it. Take care.